Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3G's Fitness Podcast, 3 generations of fitness. I am Coach Cisco.
I am Coach Michael.
And I'm Coach Kael.
And today we're going to talk to you guys about our values in training. We all got started in training and we all valued our approach in training as, more for, I was talking for myself as a vanity. I wanted to be the biggest. I wanted to be the baddest. I wanted to be the fastest. And I just always wanted to be the better version of what I saw in the individual in the mirror. Now I believe my values in training have changed a little bit, where I'm trying to make sure I'm a lot more flexible, less hurting, more of a longevity type of stuff.
100%.
And so for me, that actually changed at an early age. I think in like my mid-20s, I think I kind of realized that. So I don't know if you have the same alignment with your values in training right now. Because to me, you're always lifting heavy.
Right now, I'm exercising to stay alive. That's the bottom line of the truth.
Yeah.
That part
Because
for sure.
of my age, I'm approaching 70, and it's
Damn.
Damn, you old. All right, go on.
I am. Okay. You always try to tell yourself, man, you're not really that old. No, I am. And what way I trained when I was younger, it doesn't even come close to what I'm doing now.
Right.
I can't lift half of what I lift, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's hard. It's hard to accept that. It's hard to accept that you cannot do these lifts anymore.
Right.
And as much as you tell yourself, yeah, I'm done, you find out, no, that's not happening. So you have to accept it.
But that's okay because that's not what you're focusing on anymore anyway, right?
Well, I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. Now I have to focus on what I'm capable of doing.
But in terms of values, like what was your main priority when you were going to the gym back then versus now?
No, the values are the same as back then and now. I want to lift heavy, but you have to accept that, you really can't because your body's not going to, physically your body's not going to allow you, because as you get older, you don't get stronger when you get older.
So you still value heavy lifting.
I can see
Yes,
that.
I
That makes
value
sense.
heavy lifting.
That makes sense.
I value it. I wish I could. I wish I could go,
you could heavy.
And for my age, it's heavy.
Yeah.
God.
For my age. But if I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at what I could do when I was younger and how much I've declined.
Yeah.
But it's something I think all seniors have to accept, that no matter what, as you get older, you're going to decline. You just have to be acceptable to it.
I see.
And I'm acceptable to the fact that I can't do the lifts that I used to be able to do, but doesn't mean I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
Sure, some people will laugh, but we're not going to really say who,
Man.
and say,
I wonder who.
and tell you and say, is that all you could do?
Yeah.
I wonder who's that
Interesting.
jerk.
Interesting.
No one should
That's
have done
fascinating that your values still kind of stayed the same. I'm on the same boat with Cisco for sure. When, obviously when you first get into the gym, it is for vanity most often than not. It's like, I just want to look good. I just want to be, the hottest and the buffest person. But that has changed over the years too, especially being a trainer. And I've touched on this too when we talked about my experience with SARMs and stuff. Now I don't really care about that stuff as much. I'm definitely more so of the longevity side of things now. Like my training focus has changed.
Like I said, I think it's just when we all got started, there had to have been, I always say this, there's always some form of vanity when you're just getting started. And then as you progress your journey, your fitness journey, you start realizing other things are happening besides just looking good in front of the mirror. And so,
If you stay consistent long enough to experience this.
well, I was talking about mentally too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But
because-
you like new gym people don't really understand that from the start.
No, that's why I said as you stay, you start unlocking.
Exactly.
like,
You have
more
to
of the
stay
things.
consistent.
And then, like I said, to me, it was more for confidence. Like when I first started at the gym, I wanted to build more confidence. I always felt like I never had a confidence issue, but it was like, it'd be so much easier if, I was weighing around 140 the first time I got a gym membership, and I was about like 17, 16 years old. I was weighing about 140.
I was 120.
Yeah, and to me that's tiny. You know, I was all like, and I remember I was like, man, if I could just get to 160 pounds of muscle, you know, I'm gonna be even better than what I am. And I started, you know, putting on the weight, and like right now I'm walking around 185, 190. I don't want to be 160, man. The last time I was 160, it was draining. I was not happy. I was like, because I did get to 160 like maybe 2-3 years ago, and I was working out crazy, and you know, and it looked good for a while, but I didn't like it. I did not like it. I was like, man, I'm always happiest when like I said, my belly doesn't hang over. So that's a must. I don't want it to hang over, but I just feel good. And it's just, to me, it's more, I feel good. I focus a lot more on flexibility, stretching. And so, you know, to me, it's more of a longevity thing. Yeah, it's good to be strong, but at the end of the day, you know, yeah, I can squat 3 plates, but you know, do I want to continue squatting 3 plates, or would I rather, you know, take that down, go for reps, and just make sure I can move and not feel like so much in pain? Instead of trying to, you know, get stronger, be lean or anything like that, I just want to be able to move.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kay, I want to get stronger. I want to get bigger
When I first started.
at your age right now. And yours is,
When I first started.
well, when you first started, but you're still young, man. So you still look at,
Yeah, but I'm like
you
9.
still look at, you still look at getting bigger and looking leaner and stronger.
Not as much.
You know, and now,
I'm like 9-10 years in the game now, dog. Like lifting.
yeah, but you
How
So
old
want
are
that's
you?
still,
20?
I'm 28.
28. So that's about the age that I think even earlier than that. I think I was around like maybe 25 when I was like, I don't need to get as big or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was more
okay. Yeah, but you still want to look good, and you still want to, and you're at the age now, in that millennial age, where you just don't want to have a belly hanging over, and you want to look nice and solid, you know.
Also, he wants
at
to
my
be in the
age-
best shape that he can be for his kid,
Yes.
I mean, at
for
my
his
age,
family.
Yeah.
At my age, you want to be able to step on a step and keep walking. You want to be able
Yeah.
to get up, pull yourself up from the toilet. You know, you want to be able to get out of bed, and you know, you want to feel human
Yeah.
at my age.
I think everyone's
and
values
a lot of
will.
seniors don't. You know, a lot of seniors don't want to move around. They want to just stay stagnant and just watch TV. And they've got to a point where they just don't feel that they're functionable, you know, at 60 and at 70. And as trainers, that's where you guys have to be able to get them to understand that you are functionable, and your body is going to be able to make you function in the right way. You know, that's the trainer's job.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
you say, that's the trainer's job. You would think it would be like to get to know them, to kind of see what their whys are, right? You agree with that?
Not well, as far as get to know, you know, of course you, you know,
I thought I was gonna trap 'em.
You want to get to know what their things that they're doing are hard.
Good job. You caught
Okay.
on. You caught on. I was trying to trap you.
You know, you don't want to get into that personal part of, you know, what did you have, you know, what did you have for dinner last night when you went out on your date, you know, or anything like that. You want to know what they can do and what they can't do.
Yeah.
I've also like mentioned this before. As trainers, it's our job to bridge the gap between their wants and their needs. Yeah, they might come in for something that they want, but it's also our job to inform them on something that they need. But give them a little bit of both. You know, you still obviously want to give them what they want, because that's what they're here for and that's what you're getting paid for. But also be the influence
Being
that
realistic.
they need. Yeah, to be like, hey, I know you want to be the jackest and the biggest, but these are also some other things that you probably need to work on and stuff like that.
And I think as we mature and knowing like how to value that as well,
Exactly.
it's gonna be easier for us to preach it, because
Yeah.
not just that, it's like we're living it. We're like,
100%.
you know, we're doing this way because we got to a point where we realized, yeah, we can do this, but then we realized what we do need. We needed this, we need that, and you start getting a better understanding. I think that's just maturing.
Maturing 100%. Yeah. It's just as time goes by, you realize that there's more to it. There's more to it than what you just initially started with.
Yeah, like I said, I trust me. I liked how I looked in my 20s, but I feel a lot better in my 30s. And I feel like that's just gotten better too, because not just that, I don't think I'm putting so much pressure on myself with what I need to look like with what I need to. And it's just more of like, as I've gotten older, I've valued accepting what my body can do. And then also pushing it to do it, whatever it can do as well too. Like if I can't do this, I want to push to whatever I can do. But there's a point when I was in my 20s, I needed to do. I was like, I need to look like, I need to be that. And I think that like, once you get older and you mature, it's all like, well, do I really need to do that?
Yeah.
You know.
So when you look at me, what do you think? God damn.
Yeah, you need to let them heavy lifting go.
When I look at you, man, I look at your feet as you walk. It's like, man, pick those feet up, man. I was like, I get worried.
Try those knees
when
up.
I look at you, it's all like, damn, Mike, I'm all like still trying to lift heavy. Learn how to walk. Jeez. Fuck.
Hey, you ain't the only one that says that. My wife says it all the time.
Your wife is a very smart
I go,
woman.
well, I'm getting tired.
You got to get more into that functional training now.
Gotta get more into functional training
instead of just powerlifting.
You know, I'm getting tired, I tell her. I'm getting tired, you know, so I don't remember to pick up my feet all the time. You know, but I'm able to get to A to B to C. And that's the important thing.
There you go. A to B to C.
Yeah,
That's
just hope you don't trip along that line.
Yeah. Which you tend to do pretty often.
But like I said, we just wanted to give you guys a little bit insight on how trainers of different generations mature. Our values probably start from one way, go from another way, go from another way.
Yes.
So,
and that's okay. That's normal. You know, that's part of the journey. If you stick with this journey long term, that will happen to you. Eventually, you'll get to a point where it's like, you know what? What else can I be doing differently? Do I really want to keep pursuing the original thing that I was pursuing? Maybe not. Who knows? You know?
And a wise, old ass man once said, there's going to be a point in your life where it's going to be very hard that you won't be able to accept what you can't do anymore. But once you can get past that point, you've been maturing and you're going to get to a better place.
It's okay.
Talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you. So
it's hard to accept. I understand, you know, when I see a senior and I see how you know, and when they tell me, man, you look good, man, you look, you know, I'm looking at thinking, I'm a senior just like you are. I have the same problems, you know.
What?
But like the wise old man said, like you said, you know,
he's more happy that I call him
Yeah.
I think that's all it is. He's stumbling all over his words. Look at that man blushing. Man, I didn't know brown had a color. All right, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Coach Cisco.
Coach Michael.
Coach Kael.
There you go.
Later.